One of the debates I find myself constantly getting in is, are 4-lane digital tracks a legitimate way to play, or are they just a gimmick? I've built and raced more tracks than most people ever will. I would prefer a simple 4-laner to a flowy 2-laner every time. The biggest reason is variety. People think the reason digital is more fun is because of lane changing. Yeah, lane changing is fun and it negates a slight lane advantage one lane has over the other and even lane length courses. But what people overlook is that changing lane creates a new experience on the course. For example, if I go from the outside to inside on one lap and vice versa on another lap, it's like I race on 2 different slot car tracks. 4 lanes means more combination potential. In other words, it gives you more variety when you race. A challenge I hear to this is the 2 middle lanes are the only lanes people want to stick to. That's because the 2 lanes in the center are usually the fastest, unless you put something gimmicky like a squeeze track in the center of the lanes. I have to say I'm surprised by how many people think they're racing DMX slot cars. The truth is that one lane is faster than the 2 on a 2-lane track as well. You're limited to only being able to lane change on certain points of the track, meaning you're going to have to make suboptimal lane changes once in a while. The lane furthest from the pit will also have the least amount of traffic. Will this matter if you're only racing 2 or 3 people? It can if you're racing a ghost car. You cannot get stuck behind that thing. That's a nice feature to keep someone in first from dominating the race. And that's another plus for 4 over 2 lanes. Passing a ghost car in a 2-lane is never a big deal because of how easy it is to switch back. Whoever's in first in the 4-lane track better have some fuel strategy when dealing to stay away from the ghost car. Space is another factor, and let me say, if you can't go moderately wide, long, or both, then you shouldn't even think about going 4 lanes wide with digital track. Here at the market, I show you what I could do with just 5 feet of width. I have no problem fitting in a nice variety of turns. Fully bordered, by the way. At the end of the table, I got 6 feet so I can do a high bank turn. But if I couldn't do that, I could still make a nice 4-lane flat curve track. I'm going to address some cons to the 4-lane digital track before I go. And the most obvious is cost. The whole point of digital is trying to save on cost and space. Making a 4-lane digital track is much more expensive than making a 4-lane analog track. You're going to have 3 double lane changers. Every time you put in a lane changer, you need to have at least 1 full straight before it. This means you have less flexibility than a 2-lane. Why? A 2-lane you can get away with just 1 double lane change, or 2 single lane changers that can go from in to out and out to in. None of the current third-party analog switch boxes will work with 4 or more lane digital tracks. TechSlot straight up won't do it, and OmniBox can support a 4-lane analog track, but only 2 lanes will be digital. Even if you're one of those people who takes out their digital components and switches to analog, you still need to keep in mind a 4-lane digital track not only has components to remove, but also the wiring has to be redone. At the end of the day, if you ever find an amazing deal on Carrera track at a garage sale or win big at a casino, I say give a multi-lane digital track a try. The multi-lane start and additional supply, so the jumper cables, don't cost too much, and it's pretty simple to hook up. What do you think? Are you interested in trying a multi-lane track? Comment below.